So if you're new to the here, if you can put in what you're tuning in from, that'll be great. I know the city that you're tuning in from, which city, and where you're typing in from, so that we can acknowledge where you're coming in from today. All right. So this week promises to be an interesting one because this finally the US Fed is looking to cut interest rates, and the market is almost pricing for 100%, like it's like almost stinted that there's going to be an interest rate cut in of this week, but it's going to be on Wednesday. So that's going to be the FOMC meeting. So as to how much interest rates they are going to cut, whether it's 25 or 50, we are going to see that we are going to figure out that once Powell goes, once the news breaks at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. But the market's consensus is that it's going to be 25 basis points. So maybe they could surprise us with 50 basis points. But currently, let's see. So currently, what's happening is that are you guys able to hear me? So Mike wondered if what's on in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Anyone's here? That's the mic one two. You tell me if you can hear me, put one in the chat. It's the mic one two. Are you able to hear me? Okay, it looks like. Are you guys able to hear me? Just put in the chat. Testing mic one two. If you can hear me, put one in the chat. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear me now? Is it clear? Okay. All right. So let's get started. So um this week is going to be an interesting one because the Fed is going to cut interest rates, and based on that, and this is the first time the market is going to get the market is at all-time highs, and inflation is at 3%, and GDP is going up, and there's going to be interest rate cuts. So there's something that is. Are you guys able to hear me? Like, what's you have any issues with the audio? If you can let me know what the issue with audio is, that'll be good. Are you okay? Right. So, regarding the FOMC, so this first time inflation is up, it's still up. I mean, inflation has come down significantly, but it's still sticky. And we also having the stock market at all-time highs, crypto all-time highs. So this is the first time that the Fed will get into this type of environment. And again, this is the first for everything. However, historically, anytime there's an interest rate cut, it's always led to a recession, right? Most of the time, majority of the time, it has always led to a recession. So at first, the Fed was saying that they wanted to reduce inflation to 2%. However, inflation is not at 2% yet. But they are going ahead to cut interest rates. Like what changed? What has changed is that the Fed has realized that okay, right now the labor market is weakening, and we can see that the labor market is the job numbers are really weakening now, and it shows that in the last jobless claims, if you go to the let me show the site here. Let's go to the where is it? So here, this is the Market Watch website. The last jobless claims number came really high. It came in at 263,000, which is a little on the high side. Because once we cross 250,000, it means that that's like a yellow flag. And then once the job numbers hits 300,000, that's going to be a sign that the economy is in recession territory, right? The US economy is not in the recession yet, but it's getting there. So late last year, I've been saying that the US economy is going to go to a recession this year. looks like it's getting this. Plain cadence. Everything is pointing to a recession. I know there are a lot of guys out there who are saying no recession and stuff. I mean, I follow an economic model called the business cycle. So the business cycle is showing that the US economy is heading into a recession, and the business cycle has correctly predicted all the major recessions. And we are currently in what I call everything bubble. Crypto is at all-time highs. Stock market is at all-time highs. Real estate, everything is high. We are getting into um, an everything bubble that might bust sometime soon, right? So what is left is that once this number here, so you see this number here, jobless claims, this jobless claims number, once start heading to 300,000 a week or more, then it means that the US economy is more or less like into a recession. So something that we are going to be watching closely. And on Thursday, after the FOMC, there's going to be FOMC on Wednesday. On Thursday, it's going to be the jobless claims. So these jobless claims, yeah, the estimation is 253,000. It might come in higher. We won't, right? We shall see how it goes. But if it comes in and that, then that's the good news. If it comes in higher than what happened last week, then that's going to be an issue. So let's look at the economic calendar, see what's happening. So Monday we have Empire State Manufacturing. I mean, this is not a big deal. This is going to happen at pre-market. Then we have the U.S. retail sales. And, we'll have home builders confidence in this. I mean, these ones are going to be a big deal. These numbers are not going to be a big deal. The market is waiting for is Wednesday. So Wednesday at 2 p.m. is going to be the interest rate decision. So the Fed are going to release their interest rate decision. And immediately that comes out, the algos and the computers that trade for the major hedge funds are going to quickly read through the news, and then they're going to figure out whether it's positive or negative, right? So I believe that interest rate cut is a certainty. It's going to be 25 basis points for sure, but the Fed can surprise us with 50 basis points. Who knows, right? But we shall see. So right now, the Fed is behind. It's one thing I agree with Donald Trump on. The Fed is behind. Like they've missed the mark again, right? It's the same Fed that was telling us that inflation was transitory. And then by the time we realized inflation was at 9%. And the same Fed is telling us that the economy is strong. The economy is not strong. The US economy is weak, right? And once jobless claims gets to 300,000, we are going to see it happen. Right? And even the tariffs has not even being felt it, right? Because it's wholesale is showing in the wholesale area, but it's going to trickle down to consumers very soon. So when you have inflation, which is sticky, and you have weakening labor market, then that's called stagflation, which is a problem, right? Believe that inflation is going to be resolved. Like I think the tariff thing, eventually inflation is going to be resolved, but the problem is going to be in the job market, right? So that's where the problem is going to start. So we shall see how that plays out, right? On which recession for any country, anybody, or anything like that. But as I say, don't shoot the messenger. It's my job to make sure that I provide you guys with all the information, so that I'm not going to be sugarcoating things when it's not right, right? So it's important for us to know what's going on so that we can position ourselves correct. So in November 2024, when I did a masterclass, said when Trump takes over, I analyzed Trump's policies and I mentioned that the tariffs even caused the market to sell. And guess what happened?
I'm coming.
In April, we got that market crash, and that caused the market to go from bull market to a bear market. So literally all the entire gains from um Biden's markets during the Biden presidency, the entire gains were wiped out in the month of April. So can you believe the market rally from 2023 October thereabout. So 2023 January to 2025 January when Donald Trump took over. Just one sell the market to wipe out all that gains. So I always been saying that it's like you make more money to the downside when the market is selling than when the market is running. So we are going to see if the US economy goes into a recession. Right now, the stock market is just going, it's just taking off, going, going, going. It's not really meaning to the sense of figuring out, okay, what's going to happen with this whole job numbers and stuff. But at some point, the market is going to come to its senses and it's going to calibrate accordingly. So this is not the time to be buying things so highs. I know there are a lot of guys out there saying, buy this stock at all time high, buy that stock at all time. No, you shouldn't be buying things at all time high, right? You can buy stocks that have been beaten down, that are at extreme discounts. Those ones make sense, but you should not be buying things like Meta, Nvidia, and all these things at all time highs. It makes no sense, right? Because if the recession hits, every stock is going to sell. Most stocks are going to sell. So just want to make sure that folks are not. But if we continue rallying, that's fine. But what you have to know is that if the market continue rallying, the sell-off is going to be more devastating. The longer the rally goes on, the sell-off is going to be more devastating. So wherever it is, at some point, we are going to get to the top. So I'll show you this chart here. That is very important so that it puts you guys, like, gets you guys in the mood where you can look into this, and once it happens, you know that, okay, you hit from this live stream here. Okay. So I'm going to so now that we know this, let's go to the charts and look at what it is, right? So over here, I'll go the VTI, right? VTI is the Vanguard Total World is it VTI? That's the US one. VTI. So VTI is total stock market, right? So this ETF that tracks the entire US stock market. So it's not like, in S&P 500 is tracking 500 companies, right? Or 500 companies. But VTI is tracking like 3,000 or 4,000 stocks. It includes small caps, medium caps, large caps, whatnot. Everything is being tracked over here. So if you look at this, you are going to see that um like you are going to see that if you look at this, I'll go to the weekly time frame. I'm going to go to the weekly time frame here. So this is what's called technical analysis. This is called a parallel channel. Okay. If you look at this parallel channel, the reason why I like technical analysis is that it removes all emotions and ambiguity from any kind of argument, right? So if you look at this, you only look at it from a standpoint of, if you look at this here, this COVID. This area here is COVID low. Okay? This COVID low. And then this was the low of the bear market. That's a 2022 bear market, right? When they first the cutting interest rate, that's the 2022 lows. And then here this one here is October 2023 when the market like pulled back. Oh yeah. And then we rallied, right? So these are critical points, right? Of the market. These are critical events. So if you're doing a parallel channel, you want to connect the trend line from pivot low to pivot low to pivot low. And then over here, you get this. This is the Trump sell-off, right? This one. It's Trump tariff sell. So this is the one. So here, we're all looking at what's happening here. Like anytime price coming, what you do the most, right? And now what's happening here? So this year is 2018. I believe here this was when China and US trade war again, tariffs, farm tariffs, this area here. And this was the big bull market. That's 2021 over here. So right now we are heading towards this area. So once the market comes here, I expect to see what happened here. What happened here? Could break it. It could break it. Who knows? It can break out and go, right? Because that's the third time with it, right? It's going to break down and go. So shall see. However, even if it breaks, I think it's going to do maybe what's called a blow off, right? A blow off top scenario. Blow off top is like we're talking about blow off top for a long time. Not sure it's like so here if we got a blow off top like this, then it's going to come back again, come and retest this and then go down, right? But I don't think it's going to break this area because once the job numbers start getting worse and bad and stuff like that, it is going to like the sell off is going to intensify. Okay. So I just want to bring this here to show you guys what's going on so that when it happens, you will not be caught flat-footed, right? You should not be buying all sort of high flying stocks at this time because once like we are at the what is called you know for lack of a better word, we are at the end times of the stock market, the end times, right? The end of a rally, a cycle, right? So here we want to make sure that we are positioning ourselves well. And then, and I mean, market sell-offs is not a bad thing. Sure, market sell-offs can, if you know how to trade it and you're a sophisticated investor, you can actually make more money when the market is selling off and when the market is rallying. So those that are in our community, we'll capture these moves and we'll position ourselves well when it happens. So what I see happening is that once the interest rate cut decision is made, I believe that we are going to get one pop, like we are going to get a big rally. Most SPY, QQQ, everything has been rallying already. So we could get a scenario where we could get what is called a buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news event is that the market has already been pricing the interest rate cuts for September. So it has rallied a lot. So what if the news comes and okay, the market is okay, now we got the news already, then it's not selling off. Okay, we could get that event. So the important thing to note here, you want to make sure that you are ready and prepared, right? Any kind of action that the market takes from now to the end of the year. So with this year, I'm going to be watching this channel here to see what happens. And then once it gets there and it matters there and starts selling, we will know what to do and action from there. Okay. All right. So with that said, let me go to the SPY and see what SPY is doing. So I like the VTI. VTI captures all everything in the stock market, US stock market. So if you are not a sophisticated investor and you don't know how to analyze stocks and ETFs, other ETFs, what you can do is that you can just buy the VTI and be free. Don't worry about any kind of stock analysis or anything like that. Okay, so let's go to the SPY. So here's the SPY. Those of you that have been trading with me live, we trading us live in the day trading service, we have been like, talking about this trend line here. So this is an important trend line. So over here, if you look at this is from the trend line is from COVID, I think it's COVID, is it COVID low? Let me see. This 2023. This one here, this trend line here, 2023 October when the market pulled back to the highs here. If you extend it to these highs, this is what you get, right? And then you have this bottom trend line that is from this area here. This is from May 23rd to this area. So this forms what's called a rising wedge, right? Rising wedge patterns typically are usually like bearish, but it could also break out and go, right? So here on Friday, those that traded with us live, I talked about this additional trend line here. And it's like if price comes here, you see that time you have a trend line and price comes there and couldn't go like this, it tells that trend line is very important. It's a powerful trend line. So I'm going to be looking at how price is going to play out between these two lines here. This trend line one top and one below here. I believe that maybe we can get some kind of maybe go back Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, once the news comes in and interest rate has been traditionally, we can get the pop and then we can pop to this area. So I think that we can still break out above this round here and go. And once break out, we are going to get what is called stop. So the off top is going to be you percent dead value on that range. See how it goes from there. So I believe that SME can still go up. We can go to maybe 700, 680, who knows, right? Who knows where it's going to go back. Job numbers is going to start taking effect once the interest rate has been cut, and we'll know what happens from there. So, press conference on Wednesday. The most important thing that's going to be asked is that everybody knows they're going to be interest rate cut on in September. The market would like to know if there's going to be more interest rate cuts, in December. If there's more interest rate cuts in October and December, that's going to cause the market to rally. It's going to push the market. So Wednesday's interest rate cut, that one is a foregone conclusion. Like the market has already priced that in, but the market has not yet priced in October and December rate cuts yet. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, yeah. So this what I'm looking at here. This is going to be choppy. So those guys that the SPY and ES traders, this can be choppy. So if the market is choppy Monday and Tuesday, don't be surprised because we might be trading in these two trend lines here, and we might chart around onto Powell press conference starts on Wednesday. Okay. Okay. So another one that which is really interesting, I've been talking about this for something now, is ETQ. And on Friday, I was able to catch short on the Nasdaq using this, and it was so beautiful. Like, one of the reasons why I like technical analysis, right? There's no motions or anything like that. You just go kill trade and get it done. So thinking about this mega form pattern, right? So this is a mega form pattern on the tech heavy QQQ ETF. It's the ETF that's the Nasdaq. So here we have this, see the shape of this, it looks like a megaphone, right? Megaphone pattern. So anytime you have this pattern here, it's usually bearish in nature, right? Which is going to cause it and cause the market to sell. I believe that we are going to get something going to stop here in this area, and then we can maybe get something like this. Push up, go up a little bit, and come back and retest and see how it goes. And from there, difference at what you want to do. Yes, this. So yeah, let's see this from on Friday, and it goes to daily. You are going to see that this came here, and then what? Ejected to the dot. It's crazy, like to the T. Came here and then rejected. And if you go to the intraday on this on QQQ intraday charts, this is which is two. Just show you in the intraday. So it's a clean shot. This was clean shot on that day. If you know it's see. See this? See that? That was a clean shot, right? So here, once price came here and started showing weakness, boom, let's shorted the thing to the downside to the viewer. And right, this was predictable trade, right? So anything out. So this for day traders. Okay. So I just want to show you how this level was respected. Okay? So I'm going to do one that trend line closing on the QQ in days ahead here to see if it breaks it or it gaps above it, what looks right. We are going to look at that. So that's the QQ. Let's see where is price going. So the QQQ, what I'm looking for is that I'm just going to be monitoring this trend here to see, okay, on price trade above it, can it break it or is it going to consolidate, right? So we could get period of consolidation till Powell press conference, right? Then we know whether I'm going to clap or we're just going to pause here. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to look at. So my main aim is looking at this and other levels I'm going to look at. I'm going to use pivot points, figure out those levels. Let them just put it here, see what we have next, and then we can use as a benchmark to determine where things are. So next level that we are looking at is going somewhere here. It's going to be is going to be somewhere here. See this? Next level is going to be here. This one. Move it a little bit. So I'm going to be watching this level. So 558 is an area where I'm going to be watching tomorrow or in the days ahead to see if like around that area that we can gauge and see if that area will be area where